Welcome to the Tiffany Show. Like, check 1 2 1 2.
Mic check 1 2.
Where are you, Phil?
Right here.
Right here? You want to come in closer?
Sure.
Let's check Phil. How you looking? You look pretty good.
Thanks. How's my hair?
Yeah, it looks great. We're both brunettes.
Yeah. Well, I got grays, but.
Oh, well, don't we all? Yeah, exactly. I just hide them in the curls. Nobody puts Tiffany in the corner, Phil. Here we go. Welcome.
Cheers.
To the Tiffany Show.
Tiffany Show.
It's been a while. We're at Euphoria Wellness Spa. A whole year of Tiffany Show episodes under my belt already. And this year, you might be tuning in to the first episode on your TV, Peterborough, Lindsay.
That's pretty exciting.
Big news. It is. You're on TV, buddy. Not just my social channels.
Famous Phil is what they call me.
Famous Phil.
Yeah.
You put the Phil in Philly.
Yeah. I did.
Hey Kraft, it's Phil. So you're asking, why should I be the next Philly Angel? Let me tell you why. Here we go. I put the Phil in the Philly and the Philly in Phil. The Phil.
You totally did. Philip Joliceour, how are you, sir?
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
It's been a great day, beautiful day, busy week.
Yeah, and you had a good holiday season.
Yeah.
It's all over with now.
Right. It's been a long year.
It has been.
Yeah, I think you and I are going to get a little into that later, aren't we?
Yeah. It's been a year.
It has been a year. Cheers to that, my friend. We are here today
Yes.
to have a chat.
Yeah, and look at all the people here. This
Right,
is
look at all of you at home.
Yeah.
Hello.
Are you giving away cars today?
I know. You get a car, you get a whale.
A whale.
Yeah, have you ever seen that joke when he's like pretending to be Oprah? Humpback whale. Everybody's getting a humpback whale. We'll get Oprah status one day.
Yeah.
Phil,
Yes.
why don't you tell our friends a little bit about yourself, sir? What do you like? What do you not like? Is Peterborough your hometown? What's in your coffee cup today?
Yeah. Well, I'm a business owner here in town. Big community and business advocate. Peterborough is my hometown, like not where I was born, but I've spent the last 18-ish years here, I think. I was born in Toronto, but moved around a bunch and settled down in Havelock, Ontario, just north of 7.
Ooh.
And that's where we put the roots down until I went to school.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm also a transplant.
Yeah.
Yeah, from big old stinky Hamilton, and then came here when I was 18, and same thing, kind of put down our roots. Imported. There we go.
That's right. I'm a big fan of Peterborough.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
The people show up here, right?
Yeah.
And you see that when calls to action come out, when other community members need help, others show up. Whether we were born and raised here or not, we show up.
100%.
So Phil, the marketing guy, Phil's photo booth fun.
That's right.
That jingle is pretty fun. I've heard it on Fresh Radio. Photo booth fun. What motivated you to start your own business? Because you used to be in the radio industry.
Yeah, well, I've always had
Or advertising, I guess.
So
Sorry.
when I left college, I had a really hard time finding jobs because I tried to be in radio broadcasting. And so, 300 demos later and a couple job interviews and one part-time weekend job, I started my own. I went back to school for public relations and then just started working for myself. A child and youth worker for a while, sold cars, and then did advertising sales and kind of did that 360 right back to the radio world. But on the advertising end, really, really loved my job. 2.5 years, and just post COVID, I got laid off. And you and I share one of our mentors. We share Stu.
Stuart Harrison. If you're watching this, we love you.
We do. He and Brenda, my boss at the time, they just said, "Why don't you just take what you got? You've had it for so long, and just do it full time." Because at that point I was fighting that battle of they took my job away and I decided to go full time, and I haven't looked back, and now I just don't get no sick days, but everything else is good.
It's that
Gravy.
grind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Doing what you love. There's a
Yeah.
lot to be said for that, kind of
Yeah.
chasing your passion. We kind of alluded to a little bit of life, but can you share maybe some of the most significant challenges that you've faced and maybe how that has shaped your perspective, maybe shaped how the way you move in the world?
Yeah, well, life was never easy in my family. You know, we had a household full of love, but we were poor, like broke all the time. My mother didn't drive, so, you know, I hitchhiked a lot as a younger person just to go get the essentials for the house. And um, I was severely bullied through high school. And when, you know, I held my own, obviously, I made it through, which was fantastic. But when I went to college, it was a whole different, I got to be me and surround myself by a bunch of people like me in the creative world and broadcasting. And so when I look back at being bullied, I looked at everything growing up as a life lesson. Everybody can get through things, and it's just how you look at it at the time. Yeah, and it's easier said than done, especially now
Truly.
with social and everything. But if you let those people dictate the rest of your life, then
Yeah.
it's you know, you got no control. You got to go to school. You got to
Yeah.
get that education, and you're surrounded by people that you may not like or they may not like you, and that's reality, and that's another life lesson that's going to happen.
Yes.
But as you get to be older, you get to choose a little bit more of your life path and your work path and who you get to surround yourself with.
Agreed, and I think that we learn kind of through those situations too how to move in our own ways, our own spaces, and let other people move, not let their movements or what they say or do affect how we perform in our own lanes.
Yeah.
And that's a huge lesson, and it is not easy to learn. And I feel like the universe always punches you in the face with it until you get it.
And you're constantly learning it. Like
Constantly.
Life is a constant life lesson.
You are not moving forward if you're not learning any lessons.
Exactly.
You know, yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah.
It's truly the ups and downs to life. So you and I, lots of challenges this year. I know that you have a special project on your heart called Harmony for Healing.
That's right.
You and I share something very deep and personal. We both lost a parent this year. And your project with Harmony for Healing is a beautiful way to tribute.
Yeah, it's a tribute, obviously, to my mom. But really, what I wanted it to be is, so when I lost my mom to suicide, and when I lost her, one of her live music was her thing, and so we were talking. My brother-in-law and my sisters were like, it'd be cool to do a concert every year in memory of her, right? And I'm like, we've done that before, though. We do that all the time. I was like, I really want this to be something that is sustainable and will last, and pick a program where the money that is raised from it is going to affect directly here in the city. And I want to be loud about it. Like I don't want, you know, I didn't know my mom was thinking about suicide. You know, if that was if she maybe, you know, you can think of all the maybes, but if they would have talked about it, or if people will talk about it, then it's less likely to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And if you have the right supports, which the ASOP program, the CMHA, has that support, and that's where the money's going. So yeah, Harmony for Healing, and it's a concert. It's going to be a tribute. We're just blessed in this city with so many fantastic musicians that I'm going to form this. I had this vision, and this was like, it was crazy because it happened in like June, July, and I had this vision. I'm like, I'm going to hire the best of the best, and they're all getting paid. I was like, no musicians working for free. And then we're going to have special guests, and they're going to be local too. Everybody's going to be local musicians because we can do that.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be visuals, and there's going to be this, and we're going to do it at the most beautiful venue in town, Market Hall. And I was like, now I just got to put it together.
Yeah.
And obviously it costs money. So the first thing I had to do was get some sponsors, which was a learning curve.
Yeah.
But, you know, once I figured it out, everybody stepped right up. And what I really took out of the sponsorship thing is that when I was talking about Harmony for Healing in my dream, that these sponsors didn't hesitate. They're like, this is needed right now. This is a big cause. This is affecting everybody. This is happening in our community, and got goosebumps just thinking about it.
I was just thinking the same thing.
But they just all stepped right up. You know, Wade Hamblin's our presenting
I
sponsor.
love
and,
Wade.
Yeah, and it's just like, and then all the other silvers, and then the in-kinds, and it's it's a beautiful thing. It all came together. The musicians all jumped on board. When I started promoting the musicians, I got a whole bunch of other musicians going, "Can I be involved? Can I?" Like, they just want to play for free, and I'm like,
Oh my
"I'm sorry, but the bill's
gosh.
filled." But I'm doing it 5 years in a row. So this year's the 60s, next year's will be 70s,
Cool.
the third year will be 80s, 90s, and today. So we'll be handpicking the house band each year, handpicking the special guest each year,
Neat.
doing special visual effects each year. So it's just, I really wanted it to be a musical experience rather just than a concert.
Yes.
And that's the whole plan. When people leave there, I'm hoping they buy tickets for next year as they leave, because they're like, I can't miss out. So,
I love that sense of community, all going to support mental health initiatives. The CMHA is remarkable. They do remarkable work in town.
100%.
And I love that your sponsors showed up for you. It's like when we started this interview, we talked about community showing up, and that's a prime example of how we rally together and take care of each other and get resources out to people that need them. And initiatives like yours, like near and dear to my heart. Absolutely.
Very exciting.
So it is exciting. If we want to buy tickets, where are we going?
harmonyforhealing.ca. Tickets are available through there. It'll obviously send you through Market Hall to buy the tickets, but harmonyforhealing.ca. Visit the page. It's a beautiful web page. It's got all the information about my mom and my story, why I'm doing it. It's got the event details, the house band, the special guests, and then of course visit the sponsors page, because without it, I wouldn't be able to raise 10 grand a year.
I love to support me some sponsors. When I see an event that aligns, or I'm at an event, I always take a look at who the sponsors are, and I go out of my way to support them as well, because I know that that's so reciprocal, especially in communities like ours.
And it also, if you pay attention enough, which you and I do because we're in that field, sponsors don't typically sponsor something that's not close to them or they don't feel dear about, right? So I see people sponsoring sports teams because their kids play sports and they've always been involved in sports, and which is a great way. All these without our community, and then supporting the community that supports our community. It says you really got to do it, and Peterborough has always done it.
That reciprocity is a beautiful thing, and so mission-based. You're totally right. Like a lot of these businesses line up with their missions and their heart songs, and we see that like time and time and time again. Like it truly is remarkable, and is a deep deep reason why we have a tight tapestry, I think, in our community, and why people show up. So we've had a rough year, obviously, and life, it is bumpy, and we go ups and we go downs. In those moments of doubt, adversity, what or who has kept you moving forward?
My family. It's easy. My kids, my wife. I know she struggles with everything too, but it's like she puts on the face too, right, to lift me up. And the kids, obviously, we lift ourselves up to be all right in front of the kids, even though it's important to show that you're not okay. So they know that. So
absolutely.
We've done that for them too, hospice, which was fantastic.
Oh God, I cannot say. Their grief chats are amazing.
Yeah, I had no idea what I was going into. I still have no idea. When I was going, I did 8 weeks of the traumatic grief counseling, and I said, I don't know if this is helping. Like, you go in and you feel so heavy afterwards, right?
Oh yeah.
But when you leave, I've been done the 8 weeks for 2 weeks now, and I don't feel cured, obviously, but it definitely helped. It helped.
It helps the weight, right?
It helps to be able to talk about things a little easier, and and I can tell my family that needs the supports and the community, if there's anybody there. It's just another great tool in the city that it's super important.
And when it comes to mental health, it's like the more tools that we can collect along the way to put in the arsenal, the more
there's not enough tools.
There's not enough tools.
There's not enough
tools.
There's
a lack of tools.
MPP.
Yeah. We need
City.
more events like that's right, MPs, if you're watching. We need more tools in our communities, and for all ages as well. But I love that you brought up hospice, because hospice near and dear to my own heart, to my own grief journey. And especially in those first few weeks for me, those first 2 months were like particularly heavy. And the amount of support I got from the staff and from the other people going through similar journeys and having that space to share those vulnerable feelings and it's a big deal. Like vulnerability is such a special human trait, and to have such tragic things happen, to find those different support systems is so valuable. And that's why Harmony for Healing is going to be a huge event for our community. Absolutely massive. Huge. So I appreciate you honestly sharing that with us, because I find that a lot of people are uncomfortable talking about loss and grief. We don't talk about it enough, but we do need to talk about it.
Well, it's the only way of, I'm very busy. So everything it's very easy to hold things in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So if you don't find the time to, or the resources, or the person, or the people, or whomever it may be, or what it may be, to get that out, then you're holding it in, and you just keep going, and then eventually it's going to all come out at some point. Right?
That's what I find manifests, right? Yeah. It'll manifest in another avenue. For me, it really rage, frustration, anger was a big one for me. And I worried and did a lot of work this year, because it's so easy. And I'm just like you, we'll bury ourselves in work and keep going and grind it out because it's busy work, right? But sometimes, you do need to take the space and feel and sit and feel. Let yourself have those feelings. Yeah. So if little Phil were sitting with you here right now today, what would we tell little Phil?
Do exactly what you did. And not to say that I did everything perfect, but I've raised 2 beautiful children. I've got a very successful career. I feel the respect and the love from the community. I love what I do for the community. I love what I'm able to do with my marketing and just being able to talk to people. And I love to be able to help. And don't listen to the bullies, guys.
Stay the course, little Phil.
Stay the course. You'll do just fine. And don't cut your hair.
You do you, whatever you like. You do your own lane. Never mind what anybody else is doing or saying. You move in your own ways, and things will happen for you.
Yeah, and again, surround yourself by people that are smarter than you and more successful than you and nicer than you, and you will find, and even surround yourself by people that are once in a while meaner than you, and because they're all going to teach you things.
I was just going to say, everybody leaves us a little nugget of education.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes it's a trauma nugget, but nonetheless, wins on the other side. So I'm looking to change it up, change the gears a little bit. I'm a bit of a foodie, so my beverage I always kind of change up the seasons. We're a little bit late in the afternoon, so I can't have the espresso. So I have to share this with everyone. Right. If you go to Euphoria Wellness Spa, the Canoe Cafe, they're proudly served Starbucks, but you get the hibiscus spiced tea, and you can get it with hot lemonade. Highly recommend.
Sounds delicious.
So being a foodie, I know you're a foodie too.
I like food, yeah.
If you could eat one food for the rest of your life, what would that be?
So I asked my wife before I came over, because I was going over the question, because it always changes and you get sick of food, right? So I was like, I couldn't eat any food for the rest of my life, but I do love a good old fruit tray. Like a good old Costco fruit tray with the fresh pineapple and everything.
Constantly different.
Yeah, and if I were to eat one dish the rest of my life, it would be my mom's mac and cheese dish.
Mom's mac and cheese?
Oh yeah, it's very popular in our family. It's got like 2 bricks of cheese in it, a brick of cheese on top of it, plus 2 cans of cheese sauce and tomatoes and meat and the noodles, and it's unbelievable.
Did she do the crust on the top too?
No,
what was her vibe?
It's a layer. It's a brick of cheese.
Ooh.
And then you broil it at the end, so it gets that little lasagna type feel on top. Oh, it's so good.
It's like you knew I was going to ask you about the ingredients.
And then you can put it right in the smoker, because I smoke everything.
Oh my God, you do smoke? Do you smoke Gouda?
Yeah, I've smoked brie.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yeah.
haven't done, and blue cheese. I smoked the blue cheese and made a cracker dip out of it. It was very good.
Well, I think maybe we'll have to have you back and we'll do it at the barbecue. Round 2 after Harmony for Healing. Maybe a little recap.
We'll do a backyard
kitchen.
smoke.
Yeah. Well, I've always wanted to have a mac and cheese off with my friends. Where I have a group of friends come, everybody has to bring a different mac and cheese dish, and then we all vote. But then somebody wins like a mac trophy.
Nice.
And then whoever wins has to display it in their house for the entire year.
Mac Daddy.
The real Mac Daddy. Yeah. That's right. Or mommy whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. If you could give us words of encouragement, what would you want to leave us with today?
You reworded it.
I did. Do you want me to read it exactly?
No. But what I
willy-nilly. It's my own show. I can do what I want.
I'll have to have my people talk to your people.
Call my producer. I apologize.
So I've always, and I live by this every day because it's so easy to make excuses. And I've been saying this since somebody told me when I was in high school, and I made an excuse, and they said excuses are for the weak, Phil.
Ooh.
And I've always taken that in because they are, right? It's so easy to go, well, I'm late because. Yeah. I didn't do this because. I can't do this because. And if you catch yourself biting your tongue, you'll figure out a way of doing it. Always. So, I was here 15 minutes early because I had an excuse for being late once, and now I'll never be late again.
I was totally late for Phil today. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Sorry, Phil.
She didn't make an excuse.
I didn't know. I kind of owned it. I was like, you know what? I'm pretty accountable in that.
Yeah.
I'm big on that too. Less of excuses, but blame game too, right? Yeah. When something goes wrong, whatever it is, it's really easy to turn around and say, well, Phil didn't do X, Y, Z, so I couldn't get mine done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you got to do your best 100%, 110%, whatever number you want to round up to. But
110. Yeah.
But you got to do it, and you got to love it. Yeah. It's also very important. I know people that, and I get it, there's that way of thinking I need to support my family, and they got sucked into these jobs that pay well, and they've been there for a long time, but they're absolutely miserable at their job. They don't like it, but it's a daily grind.
That's tough.
My mom always told me, and most, if you hear motivational speakers, they'll always tell you this is wrong. But my mom always told me, Phil, you can do whatever you want when you get older. You can just do whatever you want. you're going to do something.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, okay, I can do that. And then, so I chose to go to radio broadcasting because at that time, Howard Stern was in Toronto, and I was like, I wanted to be the next Howard Stern. So, I went to broadcasting. Guess what? I couldn't do that.
You're too nice.
I learned that I couldn't become a successful broadcaster, but you learn those things, but you try. And again, like I said, college helped me meet many people that are still in my circle today.
They say that about growing up too, try things. Just you might be bad at it, whatever, just try. If you want to try it, if you think you might be interested in, go figure it out. Go try it. Figure out if you like that or not, because you never know when that can turn into a different passion or serve you later on in life in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, and just just like meeting somebody, like you said, when you met Simone here, changed your life.
Totally. Right. Simone Dobson at Euphoria definitely changed my life. Yeah, 100%.
So it's the people that you meet in this world, and it's cliche as I say, your network is your net worth when it comes to business and life as well.
Really and truly. And I saw community step up in a lot of different ways this year. And truly is a beautiful thing. I'm going to throw a few questions at you, which is a curveball because you don't know they're coming. But what's the best thing about life?
The best thing about life? I guess life in itself is pretty great, when you figure it out. I'm a sucker for my kids. Like that, they're my world. So it's they're my best. They're the best thing in my life.
Can we shout out your kids?
Yeah, Finley, Brooklyn, you're the best.
Finley and Brooklyn. I think I've met Brooklyn.
Yeah. She's at the photo booth. She helps me with the photo booth once in a while, and.
I was at a Christmas party this past season. Yeah. Oh my God, that photo booth was so much fun. Yeah. So what I did for my boss, those of you that don't know, I also have a full-time job at Govro Accounting Tax Law Advisory. We had our Christmas party, and and I had Bob's jacket. So I went around to all the staff and collected all of their photos. I think he had like 80 photos and I stuck them as his pocket at the end of the night. So when he went home, you know what he did? When he got to the office, he put them all over his desk. Is that a boss or what? How freaking cute is that?
Pretty good.
I shouldn't be saying my boss is cute. I won't.
HR
Yeah,
department.
it's an HR issue.
Yeah. Let's change the subject. You get a car.
Let's move on. Next question. What's an act of kindness that touched you, that made you go out and ripple?
What's the kindness that made me go?
Someone's here.
Hello. Shout out to Brenda O'Brien. She was fantastic when I lost my job. She supported me 110%, encouraged me to just move forward, and I think I was upset for 3 days after I lost my job, and then after that, I had a new logo, and I was excited.
Love that. Attributes of a great leader, right?
She was a fantastic.
Yeah, she's not going to hold back your growth.
She's still there.
I agree, and Brenda has also helped me in different avenues of my own career.
Yeah.
So yeah, shout out to you, Brenda O'Brien, who always watches these episodes too.
Does she?
Yeah, she does. So she's going to see this for real.
Maybe I'll get some free advertising.
Maybe throw in a few commercials for us, buddy. Last question of the Tiffany Show today. Phil Joliceour, I'm so grateful that you joined us.
Right.
It's business shout out time.
I
Oh,
I got to correct you here.
What you got?
So I've let you do this a lot because I think the first time I noticed you do it was at the Excellence Awards.
Yeah.
And you said Joliceour. We're gonna say this together.
Oh, snap.
We're gonna go Joliceour.
Joliceour.
Yeah. That's how I want you to say my last name from
All
now
right. Phil Joliceour.
on. My people talk to your people.
Perfect. We'll do lunch.
Yeah.
You can shout out any businesses that you love in Peterborough, Kawarthas, and Lindsay. Who are you loving on, Phil?
I'm gonna get in trouble.
That's all right. Nobody's going to get in trouble.
No, because I'm probably gonna forget people. Obviously, I'm gonna thank all my sponsors for Harmony for Healing. We got Wade Hamblin, your PTBO Realtor, Tammy Brooks, who's also a realtor, Rebecca O'Rourke.
I love Rebecca O'Rourke. Kawartha Hypnosis.
Fantastic. Quinlan Excavating. Carlo at the Peterborough Axe
Oh, who
Club.
doesn't love Carlo and his wife too? What is it? Heck Yes Cakes.
I haven't met her.
She makes amazing cakes.
I heard that.
Yeah, really cool stuff.
We got Imprinted Apparel,
Aww.
Renegade Apparel. We got Undrawn a Blank, and I apologize, sponsors.
That's right, sponsors. But we did point everybody to the
Go
sponsor
to
page.
harmonyforhealing.ca/sponsors.
Perfect. Well covered, friend.
Yeah.
Phil, we love you. Thank you for sharing a little piece of your story with us, for encouraging us on. It's always interesting when somebody gets knocked down and finds the fuel to get back up. And in this situation, we saw it with business. We see it with Harmony for Healing, and I see it with you. You reached out to me when my dad passed, and we had a coffee actually here right at Euphoria.
Yeah.
And I will never ever forget that day and that conversation, and I'm forever deeply grateful. So all of you out there, thank you for joining us for the Tiffany Show.
Cheers.
The very first episode on Kojako, Your TV, Peterborough, Lindsay. Please be kind, not only to each other, but to yourselves. Cheers to you, sir.
Cheers.
Have a great day, everyone.
Cheers. Thanks, Tiff.
Boom. Dunsky. Will that be a bloopy?